Yes, you read the title correctly. I have in fact solved Wuthering Waves lore. Slight spoiler warning, I will have expected you to have read the story so you have a basic understanding of the terms that I will be mentioning. But I shouldn't be, like, massively spoilering anything, but just in case. 3, 2, 1, let's have fun. To give an overview on what the technical jargon that goes on in the earlier parts of the story, it's going to be a lot of musical terms. This is going to actually be a big deal in Wuthering Waves, and I'll concede right here that I don't know if it's actually it's supposed to be taken literally. I think back to how they call TDs or tacit discords sound waves, and think that this might actually be a literal musical, like the world is a literal, like, for example, song. I don't think that if you take it literally versus taking it metaphorically, it's going to change the outcome of this story. But I do think that it is an interesting thought. So let's start somewhere simple. What is a tacit discord? Well, they're the enemies of the game. But more importantly, I think it's interesting to look at both of the terms in the name. Tacit is an actual word. It's a musical term that means a group of instruments do not play at the time. Think like a rest in, like, songwriting. It's kind of like that. And, well, discord in this case means inharmonious sounds. So chaotic, disruptive, that type of thing. These are important to keep them in mind. However, they are a little bit odd together. How can you have an inharmonious sound without it being sound? In the eternal concert side quest, we learned that tacit discords are attracted to sound, and so it leads me to think the tacit discords are less about the exact meaning of the words tacit discord and more of the representation of soundless beings wanting to be paired with a being of sound, and in the process producing chaos or discord. Uh, so I think the beings of sound are humans, and so they're trying to bind themselves to humans. We see this a little bit where they bind, like, human souls bind and, like, make tacit discords in the genuine story quest, the general guy's story quest, where there are tacit discords that, like, bind to the souls of humans and, like, humans are fighting. Well, I would love to go more in depth. I think it's important for you to at least get an idea of what I'm thinking the big overarching, like, twist of Wuthering Waves is going to be. And quite simply put, I think the world of Wuthering Waves is a song that, and the people in it are representations of what it takes to make a song. So, like, you need, like, to make a song, you need, like, for example, the violins and, like, the cellos, all of the instruments to work together in order to make a song. And resonators are the people in tune with the song, and tacit discords are not in tune with the song, and thus they clash. So, the gameplay. So if you think back to the very beginning cutscene, I think the person who threw us in to Wuthering Waves' world is the composer of the song. So composers are the people who write, like, all of the notes, and us as the rover are the conductor of the song. No, a lot of the times the conductor's the person in the center, like, swinging his stick around, telling everybody what to play. Sometimes the composer and the conductor are the same person. I think in this case they are not the same person, and we are the rover conducting the song that whoever the person at the beginning was wrote. Granted, this is a massive claim, so I think that I should go into a little bit more of an explanation. So take the morning aches, AIX, it's the bird boss. Just as an example, it's the representation of grief of losing a loved one. Presumably when they were writing a piece, we learn exactly what this is during a world quest where you remove the sound, like the sound. We remove the wind barrier on an area, and so so presumably this is the grief of losing a loved one when they were writing a piece, and it made a really big tacit discord. So I think the bosses in this game actually fit the theme of the story that I'm trying to tell. Now, with these pieces of information, I think we can actually get an idea of what the Fraxidists want. For the people who don't know, the Fraxidists are the faction of people who want to make every person a resonator, and they do this by fusing tacit discords with people. They're the group that Scar is a part of. The Fraxidists in this metaphor, or literally taken, are a rogue group of musicians who want to, against the composer's wishes, want every sound to be a part of the music. And the tacit discords are sounds that are like not a part of the composition, and so they want to fuse this into the composition. And so why would they need us in this fusion? I think that they recognize that a group of sounds doesn't make a song, so they want us as the conductor to lead their piece of music into an actual song, and that would be our role to play in their story, or like what they want to do. And I'd like to add that, of course, every note has a purpose in a way, so that's where they're wrong. The idea that they want everybody to be a resonator is interesting, but their obsession with the tacit discords is going to be what makes them bad, evil, or wrong in this case. And while I do have some more thoughts on to go more in depth on exactly what's going on, I want to keep this video somewhat short. And so I'm going to leave it off on what I think wuthering waves means. So wuthering actually also it has a meaning. And it means a strong gust of wind. And well, waves I think is a reference to sound waves. So basically what I think this means is they mean strong sound waves. Literally, but what I think they're trying to say is like the strong emotion you find in sound wave or a song. So everything in this universe is about a song that we are producing, and that we are, that's being produced, and that it is our job to conduct or lead it to its end.